I'm Jim Christensen, Jr., president of inSOURCE, financial advisor for Emeritus, going on 40 years. Some of the experiences living with hemophilia, of course, started very young age, way before I can remember. Between ages of 6 and probably 15, I was, all the time either in crutches, wheelchair, or braces, but the biggest problem back then, too, was insurance-related issues. Extremely expensive disease, and I had burned through my first, back then it was a $500,000 maximum plan that my dad did have. I ended up dropping out of high school and got my GED, so I could go to work full-time. So the challenge was on crutches or wheelchair and finding full-time work. At 16, I became a driver for a gentleman that owned a bunch of department stores in Omaha, Lincoln, and Des Moines. But I was able to get on their insurance as full-time. And in fact, at that time, I was even able to get disability insurance, which was rare, but I figured out at that point that I needed to have all those things. There were always big insurance-related issues. I, at 14, met with my first CEO of a major insurance company and the CEO of the local hospital, and we negotiated out costs and so on. So I learned to do my own treatments at home. It was an unbelievable time in my life. Unfortunately, my health did deteriorate during a lot of these times, and I did go out on disability claim at 18. You can imagine when you're 18 and file your first disability claim, it literally changed my life. I quickly realized the importance of all types of insurance, and I believed in that more than probably anything else. Bankers Life Nebraska was probably the most known brand out there. Applied with a couple different companies, but quickly decided that it was going to be Bankers Life, who now, of course, is Emeritus. Worked through an internship program that Emeritus did at that time for students, sold on campus. That's the way the career started, and it went way better than anybody expected. There is nothing that's more satisfying than what we do, in my opinion. I've delivered claim checks, and this recently came up. I delivered a claim check early on. Last year, med school, his wife passed away. We had her insured and him insured, and it was the largest policy that I had ever written up to that time. And he had said many, many times that he would not have finished and he would not be a doctor today if it wouldn't have been for the life coverage that we put in place. He is now CEO of one of the hospitals in Omaha. It was a life changer for him and for me. It really made me realize why I do what I do. And he's extremely grateful, and I know his son today, and his son is following in his dad's footsteps. I think when anybody thinks about it and walks away from something like that, how can you not feel good about what you do? It changes people's lives to the good all the time. No time ever in my life have I looked at being hemophilic as being a negative, because it is what set my career path as a child and definitely my career path as an adult. I absolutely have zero regrets, way more than most people can say it, that they've developed that attitude sometime when they go through a life scare. I've lived it from the beginning and definitely have made the most of every day. Try to always strive to do the right thing from an industry perspective. And a company perspective, I truly do feel that I think we have more to offer than virtually any industry or company there is out there. I wouldn't have been here almost 40 years if it wouldn't have been that.